Right. Gonna give my inventory a quick look real quick before I cut right to the chase. Talk about no messing around today. Gonna get rid of the worthless fish I've accumulated at the Simroll event. Do that real quick and then I'll be on my way. Gonna be rocking 15 scrolls of mass life today. I sold a few earlier today. I also ran into a little bit of Zen via a belated Christmas gift. So I used that to get myself a couple nice treats on my character. My item level is now almost a 14.3, 14.22 at the moment. Yeah, I'm working my way up. I feel like tonight's run is going to end up being fairly straightforward, although I actually don't want to forget the scrolls of power I'm going to be needing. Yeah. Yeah, using the AH sometimes is a little bit finicky. Looking for the ones you get at Twilight Tour. Scroll of Fate, and I would look up power. Okay. These are going for about 2k AD per piece. They're very expensive for some particular reason. There we are. Okay, so we're actually down to a K and a half on a couple of these. I'll go ahead and indulge myself on 2 of those. That should be about all I need to get myself through this run. Shores of Tuern is a lot shorter than Malbox Castle, with last night's run being an insufferable 1 hour and 34 minutes. I've been told tonight I should expect to be here for about half an hour, which is certainly good. Let's see, I got something in the mail. I'll give that a look. Oh yeah, that's right, that's just what I've mailed one of my alts. Okay, on that note, not really much else. Oh, and I am going to be packing a little something new tonight. The Elixir of Fate. I'll be saving that for, well, I mean, I can pretty much definitely pop that the minute I get there because it lasts an hour, and I definitely don't expect this fight to take me an hour. But that's going to be to help soothe things in my endeavors once I reach Garakas. So without further ado, let's head right into it. Of course, Neverwinter's going to take a moment or two to prepare the map. It does this every now and then with private queues. Just waiting on the map. Gonna be there we go, now we got it rolling. Most of the time the game will instantly load when you solo or any sort of dungeon or anything at all, but sometimes they make you wait a little bit. Okay, so this is where we start off. I'm primarily expecting to deal with, obviously, Cult of the Dragon cultists. It looks like our first batch of enemies is going to be up ahead. Alright, so I don't see any reason to stick around up here, and I'm not going to be able to get up there again, it doesn't look like. It limits my maneuverability a little bit. This looks like... oh wait, okay, so the game is actually not going to let me go here, so I can forget about using that as a little bit of a battlefield. Barbarians were... okay, so it seems like some kind of violent struggle of some sort happened here before I turned up. So let's have a look at what I'm dealing with. Oh, okay, so... oh boy, we're already starting off with annoying white dragon fangs. Those are by far the most annoying enemy that the Cult of the Dragon has to offer, and in my personal opinion, they are at least in the top 5 for most annoying enemies, period. So, I bet you can guess which enemy I'm going to try to wipe out immediately. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and pop my power stuff, lay down an Orcus ball, and get right into it. Yep, see, this is why these guys are so annoying. Like, I can put up my shield, it doesn't really matter, and if I put down my shield, this guy's freezing me. This guy is incredibly annoying to fight. Thankfully, he's now dead. Now the name of the game is going to be to stay away from that little green line right there. That is the green Dragon Fang attempting to hit me with that powerful bolt. As long as I stay out of its line of vision, though, I'll be just fine. So this first batch of enemies not really proving to be much of a challenge. And that'll do that. Gotta really be careful about the green Dragon Fangs. They do present an underrated threat in that they can root me in place for a handful of seconds, which can put me in some serious danger. It gets me in combat disadvantage. Thankfully, there's nothing about this dungeon that would prevent me from using Mass Scrolls of Life should I need to do so, unlike Malabog's Castle, where Valindra's Death Choke prevented me from using my scrolls. So, if hypothetically something should happen... Oh boy, we're getting rushed by this massive golem. But anyhow, yeah, there's nothing that's going to be stopping me from using my scrolls. Thankfully, all this guy is just really, really bulky. Nothing much to really worry about. Every time he stops to breathe his fire, I can easily get myself a few shots in of combat advantage. All this guy really is just bulky. Alone, he's really not a threat. Got him down to a little less than half health. That attack right there where he raises up his sword, that is a bitch of an attack. Like, I'm taking damage even if I go into guard. There we go. Yeah, that wasn't particularly challenging. Okay. Alright, so let's see what's up ahead. Some cultists. Blue Dragon Fang. Blue Dragon Fangs are not that bad. For most characters, they can prove annoying, but my little secret to dealing with them is Weapon Master's Strike, which allows me to strike them through their shield. So really, they're not that big a deal. Let's go right ahead and... These Rage Drakes are going to prove to be problematic. They do lots of damage. Gonna go ahead and use my Lyra's Bell to support my Blacksmith. In hindsight, probably would have been a better idea to come with my Laughing Skull. But I seem to be handling myself okay. I definitely want to come with my Laughing Skull to the last fight against Garakas. As I take down the Blue Dragon Fang. Go ahead and quickly get rid of these annoying assassin drakes who are causing me a little bit of trouble. And now we got this guy all alone. And that'll take him out without really any problem whatsoever. Oh, wait a minute. We're still not done yet. Didn't notice this little guy over here. Alright. And that quenches that threat. And we got another... Oh, we got two golems. Huh. Well, this is interesting. Now that they're not coming right at me, which gives me the opportunity to make a change. Gonna go ahead and try to take one out quickly. Having two in one area could prove to be a nuisance, although they still strike very, very slowly, so I should be just fine. Gonna prioritize taking one out. I can't really assert myself into much of a combat advantage, except for when they're both using some really slow attack. Yeah, this is not going to prove to be much of a challenge, as they're not really hitting me. They give me just enough time to go into guard to prevent myself from getting stunned by that attack. Ah, Sheila eats shit. It's gonna pop Sheila back up with a Lyra's Bell. Unfortunately, the AI on my companions is not good enough where they will know to get out of the way of these attacks, which means they are taking a lot of damage from their attacks. And there goes one of the fire golems. And once again, Sheila eats shit. Definitely one advantage that Grim has is one of my companions, by far and away the bulkiest I have, and would certainly not be dying to these guys' attacks. Really, as long as I get myself in a guard in time, which is not very hard because these guys attack very, very slowly. If I can get myself in the guard in time, and he actually just swung at nothing. I don't even know where that last swing was supposed to be going, but yeah, if I get myself into guard in good time, this guy's not really threatening me very much. And there we go. Taken down. Pick up some loot, some unidentifieds that can go into refinements. So what we have up ahead, we got the white dragon fang, a couple blacks, and predictably there's a green. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take a slightly different approach to this one. And let's go right ahead. And yep, I got caught up by the green dragon fang. Just barely getting out of the way of the ice and of... Oh, I gotta get out of the way of that. Two blacks are down. Just gotta take out the green and this white. When I do not have any guard left to use, I have to really just sort of keep my distance from the white dragon fang so that I don't get hit by the ice. Taking down that other one right there. Dropping a crescendo on that guy and taking a huge hit in the process. Gonna have to go into guard on this one and maybe back away. Get myself some distance between the white dragon fang and myself, just to make sure I don't get hit by the ice. And that takes care of that guy. And it gives me a little bit of a 2-on-1 situation with this green dragon fang. Grim doing a good job tanking her so I can get some combat advantage. That'll take care of that group. Alright, looks like we got a fire golem up ahead. Hard to tell if there's anything behind it, but... Well, there's only one, so we can go straight up DPS for this one. Can't tell if there's anything behind it, though. It doesn't look like there is, and there's not. I can keep Steely Simon alive pretty easily as long as I don't deliberately lead him into that cleave attack. Get Steely Simon into a position of combat advantage by coming over here at the expense of tanking that huge blow. Once I get to Garakas, if this guy shows up, I'm going to have to try to dodge that attack altogether as opposed to simply trading combat advantage in exchange for tanking that attack. But nonetheless, it doesn't really matter here as I take him down fairly simply. I'm going to pop my Tamora's Corn before I head forward. Defeat the ambush. Okay. I believe it's this and a little more traveling, and then I get myself up to Garakas. This is really not a very long dungeon. Just simply having to deal with a few more cultists. Shaving off a big portion of my health with that little attack. My lifesteal stat, more than enough to keep me up. I'm gonna kill the white dragon fang before he's able to get up the spinny attack. We got more coming up. Got a blue dragon fang, looks like a rage drake, and some assassin drakes. I'm actually gonna go ahead and step away for a moment to deal with the assassin drakes. And I'm actually going to complete a quest I didn't really care too much about, but thought I'd pick up just for the giggles, get myself some XP and a little bit of a reward. Alright, we still got more Dragon Fangs to deal with, but not, or excuse me, Assassin Drakes. I had a bit of a mind fart there. Had some Assassin Drakes to deal with, but they are out of the picture now. Seems like Steely Simon took out the green Dragon Fang because she seems to be dead. Gonna finish off the Rage Drake and the blue Dragon Fang, and immediately am greeted by a new little group of people. Looks like I got some black Dragon Fangs and I got 2 green Dragon Fangs. As long as I can avoid getting hit out of guard by that green line attack, I should be just fine. I'm hitting all 3 of them at once with my Weapon Master Strike. I'm able to escape the red area before I get rooted. That's important. And waste one of my encounter powers on the blue Dragon Fang. Alright, the blue Dragon Fang is out. Walking around the hitbox area. I can honestly go right ahead and afford to just let that hit me because there's no other enemies to really worry about. And that will take care of the ambush. Gonna just pick up some loot there. I don't have any more loot left to pick up, so time to move forward. Okay. So up next, it's none other than Garakas, the Cult's champion. Not too much left to go. I think I have just maybe 1 or 2 packs left. Let's see. I got a blue Dragon Fang. Looks like two blacks and 2 greens. Okay, I could use some help tanking this, so I'm going to go ahead and bust out my Laughing Skull. The 2 blacks are down. The 2 blacks really not causing me any problems at all whatsoever today, although they are kind of like they're not really significant to begin with, so that's hardly surprising. Funny enough, the game's telling me that I am rooted, and then I just sort of like F you game and just walk out of the roots. Okay. Yeah, I'm not upset about that. I absorbed that big blow with my shield without too much problem. Having to constantly maneuver in and out of the red area. I don't know how smart it is to hold a crossbow on my face when I'm right up in your grill, but, well, I suppose Cryptic Studios didn't really think about that much. And that'll take care of them without too much difficulty so far. Looks like I got another pack of enemies to deal with. Then it looks like I'm gonna breach Garakas. So let's have a look at how long. Still got about 15 minutes left of my potion and scroll. Rage Drake, Blue Dragon, Assassin Drake, probably some other assassin. Yeah, and I see an Assassin Drake behind that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and bust out the shield. I'm gonna try to take out the Rage Drake before it causes me too much problems. Rage Drake's health is falling pretty quickly thanks to my dancing shield. Gonna go ahead and use my Lyra spell to give Sheila some support. Just to eliminate these annoying assassin drakes. And that'll take care of them. Not too difficult. Let's see what's up ahead. Ah, and we've reached Garakas. Alright, that was not difficult. This factors to be difficult up here, though. I'm going to bust out Grim. Really looking to have some help tanking this, because Garakas hits like a motherfucker. And, let's see. Yep, still got about 10 minutes left of Potion and Scroll. So, let's just dive right in. Alright, I see Garakas alongside two aberrant, or I don't know if those are aberrant or rage drakes. It looks like, okay, it's an elite rage drake I see. Okay, so I'm getting some time to scout ahead before I plan my next move. So, shot in the dark, but I think an elite rage drake is a glorified version of a rage drake, so they're going to be creating me some problems. Nevertheless, I can't really afford to take my focus off Garakas because he hits very, very hard, and I can't afford to get into combat disadvantage. So, I really still have to focus on him, and hopefully Grim will go ahead and take one of those rage drakes off of me, at least for a little bit of time. So, let's lay down my Orcus Ball and get right to it. Go ahead and get me some health to make a maneuver. Yeah, so the Rage Drake's proving to be little more than a glorified version of, well, normal Rage Drakes. So I'm gonna just go ahead and hit them at the same time. That is when I'm not weaving in and out of the, oh boy, in a little bit of a sticky situation health-wise. Gonna just pop a Fire's Recovery after popping a stone. Whittling away at the Rage Drakes little by little. One of them is down. Gonna pop a Fire's Recovery, get back into guard, slip away from this little situation. One of those Rage Drakes is almost down. I seem to have... Why did I pick that up? That was not a good idea. Seems... I have to assume... Oh, wow, he does a ton of damage in a single hit. Really looking for Grim to try to maybe be the prime source of his attention. Gonna pop my lion, give me a little bit of cover. My lion is able to help me essentially absorb that little blow, which is dealing 90,000 damage. Certainly not a joke. Garakas is proving to be very bulky, having a difficult time denting his health, and only got him down to about 80% after maybe about 5 minutes of straight up swinging at him. $115 grand in a single attack. So I'm going to really have to do a good job keeping an eye on my health. You can see I enter red for a moment before my lifesteal stat comes in clutch. Enter guard to shield most of that blow. Gonna pop up my lion to get me a bit of time to just swing at him carefree. So I'm noticing the pattern. He breathes his fire, or he does one of those little attacks, then out comes the big blast. So as long as I can just keep up getting into guard whenever he fires that off, I should be just about okay. Although I figure he's got to have little cronies coming for him right around the point he reaches half health. He's almost at half health. Grim is not really doing a good job tanking him so far, as he's really just sort of following me around, which is not particularly convenient. Cancel on the crescendo gives me a little bit of maneuverability room. Got him down to about half health. Get my line up to buy me some time to get some more of my health back. He's like chasing me around. Oh my, barely surviving that attack. He is hitting me hard. Thankfully I came with scrolls, so I'm not really too concerned at this point. He's down to about half health. Cancel on the crescendo allows me to get into guard to shield that big blow. Pop up the lion, provide me some temporary HP so I can tank that blow fairly easily. Doesn't seem to have any ads coming for him, as he's down to less than half health. Able to get up guard just in time to prevent that from becoming a problem. Able to dodge the blow that time. This sort of seems like this is just how it's gonna go. I think I'm gonna about handle this fight pretty easily, more or less. Interestingly enough, he doesn't seem to have any ads coming for him, at least not yet. I take the big blow, failing to cancel on my crescendo. That was not particularly graceful. Lay down a greater stone of health to provide me with some cover. Getting him right down to close to about the last 10% of his health. Fairly ho-hum type fight. Just about done here. The last little sliver of his health. And that's gonna do. Well, this was anticlimactic, but there you have it. I have now soloed Shores of Tuern. Let's see what I get here. Some rough AD, some more rough AD, seals, rank 5, bullshit salvageable, and from my Shores of Tuern key, the Mystic Dragon. Yeah, okay, so ho-hum reward for a ho-hum run. Well, let's see how long that took. 26 minutes and 55 seconds. Shorter by far than Malabog's Castle, and still shorter than my Castle's Retreat run. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. 57 mil damage dealt, 6 million damage tanked, obviously no downs, 6.2 damage healed, 47 kills, and yeah. Okay, well, I didn't really get much out of this run. It just sort of took less than half an hour, and well, that's that, I suppose. But this was the third epic dungeon that I have ever soloed. Still, source of pride nonetheless. So I'm going to load up the Well of Dragons once again and decide on which one I want to do next. Although I do have an idea right now. I'm trying to burn through tier 1s, as you can see from running Kessel's Retreat a couple days ago, Malabog's last night, and turned here. There's only a few more tier 1s I have to run. There's Valindra's and Lair of Lostmouth, and then we move into tier 2s, which don't really seem to be particularly possible for me to solo right now. Something I'll definitely visit down the road. But tier 1s, I have Valindra's and I have Lair of Lostmouth. I tried soloing Valindra's some months ago, and the run did not go very well. I was a 10k using a soak loadout, and I did not get past the first magical gate. Of course, I'm much more developed now, and I actually have a DPS loadout, so factors to be at least a lot more doable than it was back then. And then there's Lair of Lostmouth. The most daunting part about soloing Lostmouth would be the twin fire scorpions, the second boss of the dungeon. Other than that, Lair of Lostmouth on paper seems to be very doable. I think I want to go ahead and give Lostmouth a try tomorrow, especially since I did Tuern tonight. Since the storyline in Shores of Tuern kind of links directly into the Lair of Lostmouth, as you can even see through the island of Tuern in this description. So mechanically, it would actually make sense for me to solo Lair of Lostmouth, and hopefully that will be at least a little bit more in general than this was. But nonetheless, that is the third epic dungeon I've soloed. Alright, so on that note, I'm going to go ahead and close the broadcast. I hope those of you who tuned in tonight will tune in tomorrow as I go to take on Lair of Lostmouth.